Welcome back, dear leaders. Hope you are refreshed in the short break. Ladies and gentlemen, next we would like our youth leaders to get a clarity about their career. We are not in our 90s where we chose our career on the basis of our higher secondary marks. Nowadays, the world is changing. And why do we need career guidance? Career guidance is the process of helping individuals or students in making adequate educational and occupational choices and in taking career decisions based on the demand and requirements of the future world or the present one. To help our youth leaders on their career choices, we have our workshop presenter, Toastmaster Syam Shivasankar. Toastmaster Syam is a dynamic industry professional with over 30 years of experience in various companies like SAIL and Ispat Industries in India and Sahara Petrochemicals in Jubail, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He has technical and managerial experience in the fields of steel, power, air separation, and oil and gas, and even petrochemicals. A motivated individual with a passion for excellence. He is a professional motivational speaker and a member of Toastmasters, a thorough team man and a mentor to many. Toastmaster Syam is now living his dream as an entrepreneur after a satisfying 30-year-old working career. He has founded Theia New Consultancy based on Navi Mumbai and Bahrain. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Toastmaster Syam with your virtual thunderous round of applause to present his workshop and career. Toastmaster Syam, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for that rousing introduction, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Arvind Sethuraman. Indeed a pleasure to be amongst friends. Feeling as good as I'm being welcomed back home. It reminds me of my 8 years association in Jubail, Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be among friends. Chief guest DTM Periyanayam, Division Director DTM Kuttishwaran, Program Quality Director Distinguished Toastmaster Murli Krishnan, Event Chair Toastmaster Bala, Workshop Presenters, Division Leaders, Toastmasters, and youth leaders in particular. The participants in this Youth Day program themed Empowering Youth Beyond Toastmasters. Good evening. It does indeed make me feel young in such exalted company. Moreover, on a Friday weekend, we have so many eager minds that have assembled here to take time out for themselves, trying to get something, like Professor Samuel Johnson said, something out of these workshops that will create a difference in their lives. We have had a magnificent and inspiring speech from our chief guest, DTM Peri, a man who expresses from his noble heart. His profound, thoughtful words can move many a mountain. Always aim for greatness, he beseeched. Takeaway message was, take control over the flow of your life than being a part of the flow of your life. See, why I'm trying to do this is, it all happens even in careers, like choosing a career. This forms the basis, like the thoughts that have been expressed below by various speakers, forms the basis of choosing your careers too. Mr. Balakumar Murthy has shared his ideas to become a successful entrepreneur, like a true businessman on the move. Actually, I should have listened to him way back when I was young, I would have started my company much earlier. He said, do things by choice, not by chance. One can touch others' lives significantly, he said. He said, go technology, swim against the tide, two extremes. He said, either go with the technology or go against it. Something that about the blue ocean concept. Wonderful. Then we came to that articulate session by Toastmaster Professor Samuel Johnson. Wow, it was as insightful, very brainy, critical thinking session. He articulated how to think critically. The key takeaway for me, especially also for the youth leaders, you are the center, right? You are the center. Think, he said. If you have to be a leader, be a giver. He got the concept of the fourth apple. Never ever compare. What wonderful takeaways. Be the happiest in front of the person who is not happy with you. Wow, this is going to be a very key when you take up a career. Let me tell you. Invest in yourself. Your age is all about choosing between attraction versus distraction, especially the adolescents, right? 13 to 19. I'm sure today we have students from the 8th standard to 12th standard across various boards. There is a probable, possible solution to every problem through critical thinking. So many takeaways. Wow, it felt so good to be a part of this particular workshop. Well, here, I am here to take you through a very important activity in anyone's life, career. I have been fortunate to have a very satisfying career, as said by Toastmaster Arvind. As an instrumentation engineer, I graduated from BITS Pilani way back in 1987. I always wanted to retire at 50. You know why? I read somewhere that if you are still working at that age for money, something has gone wrong along the way. Thankfully, an 8-year stint in Jubail, Saudi Arabia helped me plan my finances in such a way that I could get working on my dream to be an entrepreneur. And today, I am indeed blessed to be living that dream. Looking back, thank you. I am proud of the associations that have helped me reach where I am today. That includes the complete ecosystem, which my family, my extended family, my friends, my acquaintances, the education that I had, books, very important, workplace, society, my cricket team. Bala is a hockey player, I know well, but I happen to be a cricketer also. Toastmasters, among others. Wonderful ecosystem indeed. Trust me, today's talk is based on a summary of these experiences. Simple. Nothing out of the blue. What I've gone through and what, as a child, when I was studying, I was brought up in, though I'm a Malayali, I was brought up in a place called Neyveli in Tamil Nadu. My schooling was from a very, very good school, a beautiful school. I was lucky again to be with very good teachers. So all these put in those values and our system, the ecosystem that helped me. Now, today, let me start with a few individuals who have achieved great successes despite all odds. In fact, when DTM Peri was speaking, he also touched upon certain individuals. But here, let me show you. You would be able to maybe identify them. Today, most of the students are from India. Indians studying in US, in KSA or from Chennai or from Hyderabad or Yanbu. And there are a few Saudi participants too. But here is Dhanya Ravi. You know what? She was born with a very unique medical condition where even when she sneezed, her bones would get fractured. A very tough situation medically. She had that osteogenesis imperfecta, the disease, a very commonly known brittle bone disease. But then today, she is a very well-known NGO leader who does public speaking, who does news shows, who does TV interviews. She advocates mandatory genetic testing for pregnant women for early diagnosis. She's a very famous lady. She won against all odds. This is a little more famous lady. This is being considered for the COVID-19, right? Biocon. Founder, who is this? Kiran Majumdar Shaw. Majority of the girl students, here I know that participating today. She founded Biocon in 1978 against all, with just 10,000 rupees as the capital, working capital. She had great difficulty identifying the identifying people for her business. She didn't get capital. She was shunned for being a female. But today, she's an accidental entrepreneur because she says that though I started it, it has grown so big because of a power of conviction, the belief that she can do something different for the public, for the society at large. Here is someone very famous now, from Tamil Nadu, right? Everyone knows him. Now he's a household name. a great story about a father who runs what you call a dairy business. Dairy means not that the ironing business or laundry business, as they say. His mother is a chicken. She sells chicken by the roadside near Salem in Tamil Nadu. He has gone on. He has never played with a cricket ball, but today he dons the India cap in T20 cricket. Thangarasu Natarajan. Just imagine. See the odds that they come against. He has not even played first-class cricket before he went into. He was only playing for Tamil Nadu Premier League. Picked up, identified for his expertise, and today is known as the Yorker King. He can bowl any batsman. You saw him how he bowled out people in the recent one-day series, right? And here comes an Arab, a footballer, one of the most famous footballers who plays for Liverpool, Mohamed Salah. Again, born to in a very mediocre family situation financially, but very modest upbringing, but man who believes in values, who always wanted to do well in academics, but his priority was football. He could never succeed in academics properly. But then such was his passion for the game. He watched football on television. His early idols were Arabic players. His parents wanted a conventional career, but then today he was one of the most paid footballers in the history of the game. Liverpool has never found a better finisher in the English Premier League. Some stories basically to inspire you. See, here, I'm here not career. There are many careers and I'll come to that. But then what we need is that inborn passion within ourselves to do what we want to do. Okay, here are some examples who people found the passion in them to achieve what they want, despite all hardships. Now, we all know the elephant. But do you see below the elephant, there is a chain with a small tie rod or something just been put up. It's a very big elephant. We have heard the story many a time about how an elephant when young is chained to a tree. Because the elephant is young and small and he can't have all the power to move the tree, he can't move away. But then later on, he's become so programmed, he or she, that he always thinks he's chained. Today, even just I've seen in temples in Kerala where the elephants are in much demand, like the Guruvayur temple, there are so many elephants. And what they do, they don't even tie. They just put a chain around their legs. That's it. And the elephant thinks it is tied. She's tied. He or she is tied. Let's break the shackles. This is what I want to tell the message about. We need to break the shackles here now. Okay, so I just wanted to bring in an analogy. It's a false belief of the elephants that they need their freedom for lifetime. Likewise, many people are not trying to work towards success in their life just because they failed once before. So keep on trying and don't get tied up with some false beliefs of failure. That's the message I wanted to talk to you. Again, within ourselves, within a group, just think about it. These are very profound sentences made by great leaders. Henry Ford, the former US president, said, I mean, he also was a very big automobile owner, Ford company. Whether you think you can or you cannot, both is right. Both is right. And to keep that in perspective, Stephen Covey in his famous book says, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. So today, when you think about careers, you cannot say that, okay, see, we are all one way blessed. We are sitting in front of a Zoom session, in front of a very good laptop, maybe on a mobile phone. We are also blessed to have so much, and we are all we need to count our blessings that we have here people who can come and guide you, talk to you, tell you a lot of things. My point is, it's not that, okay, you need to have all stacked against you. Not like that. But then what I need to say is take home the lessons that we need to take home. So another sentence that Confucius makes is also very interesting, right? Because here comes a career about a job, probably. Choose a job you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Who was telling that? Our friend Bala, right? About entrepreneurship. He's so passionate about Mondays. I know a lot of, even when I was working, though I loved my job, it is not that, but every Monday after a Sunday, or like in the Middle East, after a Friday or a Saturday, the weekend, going to work on Sunday, used to have that certain blues about us. That's work, because we are working for someone else. But then, if you really have a job you love, then you don't go to work, right? You are loving it. Okay, here comes where you are. Again, there a brief part of where Professor Samuel took up about the age factor, like adolescence. We are all in an age, like now I consider myself part of you. That's why I'm saying we. All of us are young here who are participating. So here we are, wherein the brain is under constant change. Adolescence, 10 to 19 years old, is a critical period in human development. The young minds need all the support to ensure a smooth transition to adulthood. Changes are taking place in the structure and workings of the brain, in the mental abilities which underline some of the most sophisticated human behaviors. These intense brain changes can explain why teens in mid-adolescence can take more risks than older teens. And in a digital world, which is constantly changing, the adolescent brain is well prepared to adapt to new technology. Children learn faster than us also. See, they're not only prepared to adapt to new technology, but they're also shaped in return by experience. That's very important. Just think about it. The technology that you get shaped also. The adolescents must critically explore all the avenues available to them by collecting the necessary information required from different professions. All of you are studying, and of course, he looks too way young to be an adolescent, no doubt about it. But then he's getting a degree on top of his head. So what are we doing? Like as children, you see here, you have a lot of things to think about, right? About your friends, about your grades, about your self-esteem, you're being bullied, you've got exams. And you're thinking about various career options also, whether to be, in fact, someone thinks to be a politician also these days. Yes, it's a very, very, I don't know whether it's a noble profession, but then yeah, it's a profession where probably you can change people's lives. Yes, you could be a doctor, driver, and whatnot. But then all of this thought process is giving you stress. And in this, what kind of career choices? Again, I'm not saying what kind of career choices, but what are the kind the ecosystem is telling you to do. See, when we were young, you remember, like say, even when I was probably a 5-year-old, when I was going by train from Salem to my native place in Kerala, every vacation I used to come back and tell my friends I want to be an engine driver. Because those days an engine driver, a locomotive driver, used to fascinate me. Later on, when I used to stand in school and see a plane fly ahead, I always used to wonder, can I really fly in that flight? Or one day, can't I become a pilot? When I saw one pilot smartly dressed. All of these are thoughts as a career which comes in, but those are not the firming up periods, right? Firming up periods starts once you're in the 8th standard. Like now the students here who have started in the 8th standard, somewhere around that is a time when we are asked by parents, our neighbors, our teachers, many of our acquaintances, what you want to become, and then something clear comes. A child, you had some other thoughts. As you grow up, you could get into some other thoughts. Of course, later on, that could be a long period of time. For example, my elder son, he was very clear when he was in 11th standard that he wanted to be a musician. Absolutely clear. And today he is living his dream. My younger son, Vipin, my elder son was clear. My younger son at 12th, he didn't know what to do. He wanted to be a biotech, so he took an admission in SRM University in Chennai. But later on, he got, obviously, it's very difficult for a parent to counsel his son. So I connected him to a very well-informed friend of mine who took the role of a mentor. And he advised him to take up a core engineering. And so when he got an electrical electronics engineering degree, he's studying engineering, by the way, 4th year. But now after the 4th year in engineering, now he knows that he needs to go for bioengineering as his core area because he wants to create a difference like every student. So how the ideas crystallize is something which is very important. That is basically on the psychology, how we get affected, how we do that thinking on our part, what we need to give back to the society. I'm coming back to that. So for preparing career plans, adolescents can work out small exercises on the following lines. list of strengths and weaknesses, list of job options, evaluating the options, and examining whether the adolescent possesses the essential and desirable support for pursuing them. Putting in serious efforts to gain wider knowledge by attending career talks, lectures organized by the school counseling sections, keeping track of topics in the media, and above all, speak to the people in the field of choice. It's very important. Connections. I'll come to that again, because now what is going to drive your career, I'm going to come to that. A major turning point in adolescence life. So obviously you need help. Everyone, I mean, even when we do a career switch, even at the age of 50, when we decide to do a career switch, we ask people for a proper people, but then we understand that whom to talk to. Probably at this age, you are listening to a lot of people. So probably a little bit confused, maybe something is being firmed up also. So whom do we talk to? So all those things. So what is going to drive or what is going to make you that career choice? Now, see, my trust with life and experience so far has helped me summarize into, I'm going to show you 6 different concepts. The first is the dream. Not the dream that we dream about, but the dream that is going to drive that passion within you. I read somewhere, there are some people who live in a dream world, and there are some who face the reality. And then there are those who turn one into another. So that's the power of the dream that one should have. It should be coming from deep. It will take time. So for that, you need to really venture out, see out, look at various possibilities, options. These days, everything, no one becomes an engineer or doctor just like that, unless there's a passion. So these days, anyone can see, so many options are available. Back in our times, at least when I was studying, there was only 2 things: engineer, doctor. Those who don't become that go into art, science, commerce, and people were looked down upon. See, honestly, I had an option of going for medicine too, but then I chose engineering. Not because I didn't like medicine, I didn't have the opportunity to come back from BITS Pilani in Rajasthan to come back to Stanley Medical College in Chennai. That's the reason I didn't take up. Simple. The conditions were not favorable for me to travel back and join in time. I don't know, even maybe I don't know, but today I'm looking back, I'm so happy with the decision that I took, because I have had a satisfying career only because I decided to be happy with what I have. The second one is the inspiration that you're going to get. The inspiration. Your limitation is only your imagination. Let me tell you that your limitation is only your imagination. The harder you work for something, the greater you will feel when you achieve it. After that comes the mentoring aspect of your life. You need to choose. You need to find who is going to be a mentor. It could be as simple as your sister, to your brother, to your parent, to your colleague, to your peer group, to someone who you look upon to for guidance. And he could give you in all these things. He could lead you to your goals, your coaching, your training, your motivation, your knowledge, your support system. Everything could come under mentorship. But of course, he will also be able to pick up on your capabilities, which I call. Mahatma Gandhi once famously said, if I had the belief that I can do it, I shall certainly acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning. Develop the capability. If we did all these things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves, said Thomas Alva Edison. Man who failed 1,000 times before he got the bulb, right? The next concept would be something called, look at here. What is it? What is it? What is it? It's something about an oak tree, right? An oak tree fought the wind and was broken, but the willow bent when it must and survived. So this is called resilience. How much resilience you have. So for us, like here, it's the COVID pandemic time. The kind of resilience that we as citizens are showing across the world, we are truly resilient. We are fighting it head on. There are areas which are not so resilient. They're finding a second wave, third wave. See, whether Saudi Arabia, India, just see it. I mean, there are no waves. One, of course, India's numbers are large because of its population. That's it. But Saudi has won because it is resilient. The human capacity for burden is like a bamboo, far more flexible than you had ever believed at first glance. All of you know, right? Bamboos are from the grass family and how fragile it is. It looks fragile, but imagine the amount of resilience that a bamboo tree has. And last comes the character that you have. Character is doing the right thing when no one is looking. When no one is looking, it is about doing the right thing. And when the character of a man is not clear to you, what do? You look around for his friends. My dear friends, if you ask me, one of the reasons for whatever little modest success that I've had, which I think and I should be satisfied about, is one, books, reading. Second is the group of friends. Through thick and thin, they stood by me. I've learned. And see, it is not about, I didn't say good or bad friends. I said friends. All of us, we can qualitatively define a friend. I mean, you learn from everyone. You take the positives of everyone. So basically, we need to build the character. In that way, what happens is, I'm sure you will be able to pick up the right career choice. A major turning point in adolescents' lives involves the career choice that they make while in high school, period. Frequently, it is viewed by family and community as a mere start to the workplace readiness. However, this decision plays a major role in establishing youth in a career path that opens as well as closes opportunities. So this is defining times, I know. Again, not easy, not to make you under any form of stress, but it is very important to give importance to that. I don't know, Professor Samuel Johnson, when he said about the bud and the rose, it brought about a lot of, not about dolphin, but about the bud and the roses. Why? The youth is the stage which can metamorphose. It is like that cocoon, right? Getting out of the cocoon, the butterfly. So many things. And the mentors play a role. Everyone plays a role here. And that is very important to take note. So building character is very important. So now, basically, you are in a period where you are having many yeses and nos, but I'm sure having these, imbibing these simple values, I'm sure you will be a little bit confident, smiling away. Finally, I want to leave you with just one anecdote. It's not my anecdote, it's about a story about how you should value yourself. Right, here is a dollar note on the left side of the screen. I am sure all of you can see it. Let it be a rupee, let it be a real, let it be a dinar or whatever it is. It's just a figurative. But here, once upon a time, a speaker was on stage and he just took out the dollar note from his and asked the audience, like, would you all like to have this? And everyone said yes. You all know the story too. He then crumpled that dollar notes in his hands and made it a mess and still showed it, and everyone said, still I want that, right? Then he put it down, trampled upon it, disfigured it, blackened it, lifted up, and still everyone wanted that dollar note until he told it. Right? Why? Because in all those conditions, except the last one, the dollar note still had that value. So my point again is, let us take a lesson out of this. Believe in yourself, work hard to achieve your success. Value yourself irrespective of the failures or obstacles, and don't degrade yourself just because of temporary setbacks. So hopefully you do go on to make a life and not a living. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having all of you. It's been indeed so I feel so good to be with the team, Kotishwaran and friends, Murli Krishnan, all of you, like every one of you, I felt really happy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Syam, for such a fascinating workshop on career. As our youth leaders are awaiting to flap their wings towards the universities and graduation, your guidance and motivation couldn't have been a more timely one for us. And regarding the question and answer session, sir, as we overshot the time, we will collect all the questions from our youth leaders, send it to you in the email ID of your respective. If you can just put your email ID in the boxes, chat box, students themselves will just send the questions, sir. Or else myself and Toastmaster Bala, the event chair, will be doing it for you. Thank you so much for all the hard work you did, Toastmaster Syam. It was indeed an eye-opener and a fascinating workshop. Dear Toastmaster Syam, kindly accept the certificate as a token of appreciation from Division D for presenting a workshop on our Youth Day. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, sir. Thank you.